I'm going to go ahead and record this video before I take off on the road. I've been having a very interesting, enlightening, and heartfelt conversation with my spirit, with God this morning. Because right before I woke up about 6 o'clock this morning, I woke up intentionally out of a dream. And the dream was so vivid, it was me and another person. And in the dream, I was washing dishes. And soon as a man walked into the kitchen, I automatically stopped washing the dishes. And that person was looking for a pot or doing something in the kitchen, like they were going to be there for a minute or something. So immediately I stopped washing dishes and go into the living room or go somewhere else so I don't be in the same space as that individual. And what I woke up out of that dream intentionally, because it's like God showed me who I was. It's like in living color, I was looking at what God saw me as. And what I'm getting ready to break down is that whether this is how I responded whenever I got mad at somebody and I was living with them. If I was offended by them or something, this is how I would react. And in the whole time, I'm thinking I'm doing it in a righteous manner. Not arguing, not cussing them out. But in the dream, it's like God showed me how he saw me. And he let me see in living color how I was, or how that is where God is saying, you ready? You ready? Let's do this. You ready for the next step? You ready for the next level? You ready for your next journey, adventure in life? Are you really ready? So I asked God, because I woke up after I'm looking at me storming. I wasn't storming. I just politely stopped what I was doing and didn't want to be in the same space as that person that offended me. And I'm not going to even per se put it on what particular person. If I was living with an individual, those are some of the ways I reacted if I got offended. Now, if you catch me tipsy, that's a different story, because all my barriers are down. And Father, I'm finna do this. I used to get drunk on purpose so I could let that other side of me come out. But anyway, forgive me, Father. I thank you. But so it's not really per se a man or whoever. It was, if anybody I was living with. That is how I reacted. It could have been even my own mom. If I was offended and I was with my mom in the same space, I'm quite sure she'll tell you, I act like they're invisible. Whoever it is, it could be my mate. It could have been a roommate. Even maybe my children. I don't know. I can't recall, but they can say. But at any time I was offended with somebody, I would act like they're not existing on the world anymore. I would just negate them out of my mind, out of my sight, as if they never existed. And I'm a pro at that. So when I woke up, this was about 6 o'clock when I woke up, God was showing me, this is what you looked like. And even my dog, that is how God is taking me to the next level, by getting training with my dog. When I get offended with him, get off me, don't touch me. No, that is the part of me God is working on using my dog, my puppy. And so what, between 6 o'clock and 9, it's going on 10, what God has been showing me, unfolding that dream more and more, because then it got to the point I asked the Father, I say, well, Father, why was I reacting in that manner, to make a person feel like they don't exist, or to me, I would get the existence of them out of my sight, out of my mind? Why would I do that? And he shared with me, because, I won't pay the person no attention. And I was like, okay, why it a lot of time we're hearing that you're seeing yourself in the mirror, or you're reflecting on a person, how you treat them, you're reflecting on them as that's how you are. So in other words, something like that. So I asked the Father, okay, so what reason, why would I respond to individuals and don't pay any attention to them? How is that showing me? By me not paying attention to something or somebody, how is that showing me a picture of who I am as something I need to grow from, or get, let evolve within me? How is that a part of me, showing me? And sure enough, I tell you, are we ready? Are we really ready for the next level? Because God is bringing up the things that can hinder our growth. For where he's trying to take us, he's showing us what, how, who, when, and where, what to do to cooperate to go on to the next level. So I was like, oh my gosh. And how he showed me the way I show my offense to individuals, by paying no attention to them. And Mama, I don't want to offend you, because I love my mom, and she did as she was brought up, and I did as I was brought up. As I was brought up as an only child, I wasn't paid no attention to. By being in the house alone and no communication with paternal, maternal, I just was always to myself. No friends really was allowed at the house. So I was paid no attention to, and that's how I responded to individuals the same way. And by me not being paid attention to, I guess I was not enjoying that. Because if I'm feeling like I never felt as if I'm getting back on a person by paying them no attention. I just did that naturally. That's just naturally how I do. I'm not trying to get back at you. I'm not trying to show you something. No, that was my instinct of how I responded to offenses. If I lived in that same space with someone, or maybe even if I was working on a job and my coworker offended me, you better believe I went to work the next day or whatever as if they didn't exist. And I can do that because I was raised in a single world. So I know how to go back into that little shell of being that only child. And I don't know how that fits in, but that's what God has shown me. Yes, the way I was carrying out my offenses, it has something to do with what was buried in me that needed some attention being paid to. And I never got it. Now am I ready to get the true attention that part of me was neglected or left out of, or am I ready to be ministered to, loved in that area that was within me that never came out to evolve, to grow, to mature? And God is so good. He don't put everything on us at one time. We got to do this, we got to do that, we got to do that. You did it. No, it's like God weans us into the different areas of our lives that needs to be growing and maturing and evolving and ascending. He brings it to us. He feeds us, as much as we can handle. Sometimes we're able to stop or do or whatever. It depends on where we at what given time. But to encourage us, God is really showing us the areas, and we're ready. We are ready. I see myself. I saw how I was. I saw how God saw me. Even though in my mind I thought I was doing something the right way. So now if I get offended, again, in the previous videos, what God is showing me is that I know how to react with a person. I pray, because I'm practicing with my dog. If I get offended, I pray I could easily wipe that offense off and react as if nothing happened. Love you the same way. Do the same things with no attitude. Just be who I am in spite of anything. And I am being tested, and I know there will be a greater test, but I know that now God has shown me He's able to work with me and grow with me in that. We're not perfect by a long shot, and we got many levels to keep going to. But I thank God that this girl, this woman, this child of God is really thanking Him for showing me. So, okay, what's next? Have a blessed day.